Alright guys, I'm Aubree.
They have grown to separate locations to tell you the overall facts of actually standing on the Swamp Rabbit Trail right now. So, wait a second, I'm falling. Alright, so, hi, I'm Aubree. We're just driving back to the office and figured I should answer a quick question that I get a lot whenever we are helping people buy houses. A lot of times I have people that come in and they be like, I do not want to live in an HOA. I get it. You don't want anybody to tell you what you can plant, what color your front door should be, so on. I get it. And so the purpose of this video is to kind of tell you what an HOA is, purpose of it, and why you may want one and why you may not. So with that, just get into it here. So what is an HOA? HOA stands for Homeowners Association, and a lot of times it is regulated with a third-party company. Usually it's just a company that they're the ones that get to be the bad guy. They're the ones that send out the notices for your homeowners association dues. But basically a homeowners association, what it ends up doing is, so you've got the third party that manages it. Then you have a board that is basically the homeowners just from that neighborhood. And sometimes you'll have a treasurer and a secretary and a president or a vice president. Some, they work like that. Others, they just have a board of homeowners that basically tell you, hey, this is the rules and regs. Homeowners, so HOAs, what they end up covering for the most part is your common spaces. But a lot of the things that they don't, that I guess a lot of people don't talk about that they cover, and why is your yearly payment what it is. So HOAs are going to pay the light bills for your street lights. They're going to take care of your sidewalks and curbs along the neighborhood. And then also they cover things like playgrounds, or if there's a tennis court, or especially if there's a pool. So it doesn't just cover the pool maintenance. It'll cover just overall like the insurance as well for the pool. Then there's also like less sexy things like a retention pond, and all neighborhoods have them, and there's actually county codes that those retention ponds have to meet. So I was part of my neighborhood's HOA board for 1 year, and I had control of basically the retention pond. And I learned that, I mean, it costs a lot of money to keep that thing up. So we actually ended up having to increase our dues every year. Now, that brings me to my next point, which is how much are HOA dues normally? And here in the upstate, I would say that the average HOA is somewhere between $300 to $400 if you don't have a pool. If there's a pool in the neighborhood, then your HOA dues are most likely somewhere around $600 to $700. And that's just kind of normal, and for 1 year, that's not bad. Whenever you start getting into the higher end neighborhoods, like Hartness or the Cliffs, you end up with very expensive HOAs. We're talking like $10,000 plus, because you're paying for golf memberships, you're paying for lawn maintenance, you're paying for so many more things, and it's more of that luxury price point. So if you're looking for luxury, definitely can direct you in the right way as far as HOAs go. And then also, if you don't want an HOA, then I know what we should do there too. Now with that, the purpose of an HOA is to make sure that honestly, like, neighborhoods are great places to live. A good HOA is going to make sure that you don't have trashy cars parked all over the place, making sure that you don't have somebody who's just completely neglecting a yard or putting some sort of crazy like Elvis statue in their front yard. Believe it or not, I've actually seen it happen. And that's the purpose of a good HOA. Maybe the HOAs that you don't want are the ones that are like, you can't plant this type of bush, or you can't take down your tree that needs to be taken down, or the grass lady is what I talk about a lot, is like the person who's going to come by and measure how tall your grass is. So that might not be for you. And that's where like HOA meetings happen, you know, sometimes quarterly, sometimes biannually, sometimes they don't happen at all. Some HOAs are very interactive. They take care, they talk a lot via social media. If you've seen any type of like Facebook groups, you have groups that are like, for example, my neighborhood has a residence page where everybody gets to get on there and they complain about the teenagers who drive too fast or when somebody loses a dog. So I think that they really do have a good place, and it's not a bad thing. So you probably 50% good, 50% bad, and you just have to kind of decide what you want. So I hope that answers some questions about HOAs. If you have any more questions or want to know about the different neighborhoods here in the area, maybe some of the areas that don't have an HOA, you should definitely send me an email, shoot me a comment here, and make sure you subscribe so that we can chat more about stuff like this. See ya. Woohoo!